thanks to Summer and for all of you guys for coming out. I asked Summer if I could read just a tiny little bit from this novel that I worked on in Argentina, and she said, you have to sign a contract saying that first and foremost you are a poet. This is a poetry series after all, but then you may read very briefly from the novel. So this is, the novel is called The Colony. The Colony is set in Cold Spring Harbor's in New York at Cold Spring Harbor Labs, where yes, Chris here is representing for Cold Spring Harbor. I have to tell you guys a story. I'll be really quick. I was at the end of the world, literally. They call it El Fin del Mundo, Ushuaia. Drinking, of course. What else is there to do? And I met this guy at the bar. He's here right now. His name is Chris. He's in the audience. I won't point you out, Chris. It's cool. He said, what are you doing here? And I said, I'm writing. No, but really, what are you doing here? And I said, no, really, I'm writing, and I'm writing this book. He said, where's it set? I was like, Cold Spring Harbor, Long Island. He said, that's my hometown. Crazy, right? We had so many Beagle beers that night. It was incredible. This is called First Visit from Charles Darwin. My second week at the Colony, Darwin visited. He wore a top hat and his beard dragged the floor. A trail of sand followed him. He put the soundtrack from The Jazz Singer on the flat screen. I gave him a beer and joined him in the living room. He didn't say anything. I didn't want to stare, but he was Charles Darwin and he was sitting in my blue chair. I sat on the ottoman in front of him and lit a cigarette. We sat there listening to Al Jolson. You're ashing in my beer, he said. You want one? I slid the pack of Winston's over to him. I shouldn't. He held out his hand. I'm dying. You've been dead, I said. It takes a while. He motioned to his mouth. For a second, I thought he wanted me to kiss him, and I was leaning in for it. I could smell his breath. Emma, give me a cigarette. I'm not Emma. For now you are, he said. I placed the cigarette between his lips. What are you doing here? I'm tired of walking the sand trap, he said. He took a deep drag. And you? It's free room and money. What's shaking in this town? It's whale season. I expected him to leap to his feet and bum rush the ocean. Aren't there any strip clubs? He said. It's quiet. A grocery store, a pharmacy, and a pub. Bloody hell, he said. Tell me about it. I guess you better sport the red mini skirt. Oh, it's too cold. You could lose your mind otherwise, he said. Thank you. We sat there face to face, smoking my cigarettes. He tilted his head back and closed his eyes. He was probably thinking of his glory days when he traveled by Beagle and measured beaks. He was probably thinking of all the salt in the world, all the salamanders, all the giant sloths. Or maybe he was just thinking of one species, one animal he personally mapped and charted on repeat. Emma, for example. Maybe he was not thinking at all, just listening to blue skies and liking his top hat. We lost the paradise parrot, he said, 1927. I thought I'd take a brief moment for a public service announcement. Poem. My work keeps being about genetic engineering and what the hell is this country doing in regards to it. And then I was in the airport coming here from South Carolina and I saw this. And I was terrified. Of course, okay, it says the case for killing Granny on the cover this week. And the editors say, oh, but we're being hyperbolic. Well, that may be, but this is straight up, like a euthanasia cover. Or that's like what's going on. And, I don't know if you automatically know it's hyperbolic. So it's of some concern. And then this is the public service announcement poem, because I have a person in it named the Pillow Angel, and her case happened in about 2005. The poem is titled Reading with Big Logos. I'm reading a book on the Chicago World Fair, 1934, back when Hitler was, quote, beating us at our own game, end quote. Big Logos reads The Tempest, so at least other people have been there, and if you say Caliban at a party, you win. One subject you should not bring up at a party is the Pillow Angel. I tried. We sterilized a 9-year-old girl yesterday, and I'm supposed to act calm and poetic about it. We removed her breast buds and uterus. We wanted her to stay small, like a pillow. What could she say? She's a vegetable. To say something requires a thought, a time, a place, nerve cells in the brain. Once I forgot to take the pill. For a few days there was talk of what we would do, if I would go, if he would drive me, and how it would make us feel. Now I'm at the Chicago World Fair. I stand in line to see the well-bred babies. Is this history? I stop reading. Get off that island, I say. Who starts it? Whoever does. It's cold in this apartment. The chair and the chair, more and some more. We're spent. Burn the evidence, someone says, and we do.